If you've recently been in the market for a large display to get the most out of your 4K movies, but you've been kind of disappointed by the lack of options in the TV market, well, today we're going to be taking a look at possibly one of the best alternatives you can buy right now. This is the AWOL Vision LTV-3500 Pro, and it's currently one of the most popular ultra short throw projectors on the market. And we'll also be testing this with AWOL's 120-inch ambient light rejecting screen, which is also available on their website. So today I want to discuss all the things I like about this projector and all the things I don't, so you can decide whether this combo is the right fit for you. And we're going to start with what's inside the box of the projector itself. It was sent double boxed, and inside you get a bag with some documentation, a remote, and cords for the projector. Next to that are some boxes for the 3D glasses, along with the included Amazon Fire TV stick, and finally the projector itself, which was actually a lot bigger and heavier than I expected, coming in at just under 24 pounds. And as we mentioned, AWOL also sent over their 120-inch motorized floor-rising ALR projector screen for us to test this projector with. This was also shipped very securely in its own box with strapping and foam inserts to make sure it arrived in good condition. After cutting all the straps and removing the foam, we were able to remove the projector screen from the plastic and get it set up. The screen itself feels really solid with an all-aluminum housing and a motorized system that operates very smoothly. It also includes a USB adapter that will automatically raise and lower the screen when the projector is turned on and off, which makes controlling the system much easier. The LTV-3500 Pro is a 4K pixel shifting ultra short throw projector that uses a triple laser light source and claims a lifespan of up to 25,000 hours. It also supports HDR10+, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, DTX Virtual X, and 3D content if you have media that supports any of those features. One of the standout features here is the included f2.0 glass Ricoh lens, which AWOL claims is a big contributor to the overall clarity of the image on this projector. And this optical arrangement is capable of producing up to a 150-inch 16:9 image, and because of the rated 3500 lumen light output of the triple laser light source, it can do this without compromising too much on image brightness or contrast. And more importantly, since it uses triple lasers, it doesn't actually come with a color wheel, but it does still have a slight rainbow effect, which I personally didn't notice, but my son, who's very sensitive to the rainbow effect, did notice in some scenes. Taking a look at the back of the AWOL, it has an optical audio port, micro USB, a full-size USB port, composite video in, 2 HDMI ports, one of which supports eARC, and most importantly, it also has this panel on the back which comes off to reveal the pocket where you can plug in the included Amazon Fire TV stick. And the nice thing here is you can replace it with any other brand TV stick, or even leave the cover off and use it as a third HDMI port. The projector itself runs Android 9.0 and offers a full setup menu, along with media playback through a USB storage device, and some basic streaming functionality. So you can still use the projector even without a dedicated streamer, which is really useful. And of course, this is where you can bring up the projector settings menu and change image settings. I really like how the focus controls are motorized, so you can use the remote to get the image dialed in, which makes setup a lot easier compared to other UST projectors that require manual focus adjustments, or worst case scenario, don't offer any at all. One thing you do need to keep in mind with UST projector systems like this is they need to be set up properly in order to get the clearest image possible at all four corners. This can take a little trial and error. For example, when we first set this one up, the top of the image was slightly less focused than the bottom. In order to fix this, we had to raise the feed on the front of the projector to make the image flatter relative to the screen. Since the image is so close to the screen's surface, having the projector just slightly off can make a big difference in the clarity of the image. To AWOL's credit, the Ricoh lenses do seem to give a more focused image in all four corners, but that still doesn't change the fact that you need to spend some time to get it set up properly to get the best experience possible. As you can see here, we put the projector in front of our 85-inch Sony TV, which is already pretty big to begin with, but as we roll up the projector screen, you can see just how much bigger of an image this 120-inch screen is, which looks absolutely massive in our room. Now, there is some debate if you're going to spend this kind of money, whether you should get a TV or projector like this. But honestly, I don't think you could get a 120-inch TV for the price that AWOL is asking for this projector and screen. And if you go with this projector, you can get up to a 150-inch image, which would cost you a small fortune to get a comparable TV that size. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the projector does come with this Amazon Fire TV stick included in the box, which is providing all of the smart streaming features here. And overall, the Fire TV was a pretty decent way to watch content. It's Netflix certified, supports 4K HDR, and since we have a Prime account, we were able to use all of its features. But at times it still felt a little less responsive than other streaming devices like our NVIDIA Shield. Thankfully, if Fire TV just isn't your cup of tea, it's very easy to switch over to a different device, so we don't really think this is a problem, but it is something to keep in mind if you're going to rely on the Fire TV for most of your streaming. The AWOL projector also comes with this really well-built remote, which feels pretty solid and has an aluminum faceplate and a plastic back panel. Now, one thing that can really be an inconvenience is having to constantly switch between the projector remote and the Fire TV remote if you want to change settings while watching a movie. Thankfully, AWOL included HDMI CEC functionality with this projector, but it is disabled by default. This is easy to fix by simply going into Settings, then enter the General section and enable CEC. The projector remote will now be able to control any connected device, and in our testing, it worked great with both the Fire TV stick and our Xidu Z3000 Pro. The projector also comes with pretty decent built-in speakers, which sounded fine at low to mid volumes, and they can actually get pretty loud. But I did notice the more you turn them up, the harder it was to understand some dialogue. Now, if you want to get the best out of this projector screen combo, I definitely recommend pairing this with at least a 5.1 surround setup. And one really nice feature is the screen comes with an acoustically transparent material on the bottom to pass sound through from your center channel, which is exactly the way we have it set up in our room. On top of that, the projector supports pass-through for Dolby Atmos and DTS Virtual X, so we were able to connect our AV processor over eARC. We should also mention that AWOL sells a speaker system specifically designed for these projectors, but we didn't receive one to test, so we can't comment on its sound quality. And for everyone out there that really enjoys playing games on a huge screen, AWOL is promising an input latency of 15 milliseconds at 4K and 8 milliseconds at 1080p. Now, it is going to be somewhat limited due to the HDMI 2.0 connection, but for most AAA games on PS5, for example, this will be just fine since most are limited to 4K 60 anyway. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, now I think it's time to jump into the meat and potatoes of this review, and more than likely the reason why most of you are watching, which is how good is the image quality from this projector. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is one of the best looking projectors we've tested on this channel. From image clarity to color performance, this projector blew away my expectations, and I actually never thought a projector could perform so well at this price point. And I say this knowing that we've reviewed quite a few projectors here on the channel. I watched the scene near the beginning of The Hobbit where the environment is very dark but still has a lot of texture and detail, which I believe is due to the great contrast provided by this projector. And on the other hand, colors were extremely vibrant in movies like Super Mario, which at times seemed to rival that of an OLED display. And we also noted that this was pretty consistent across all the material that we tested with this projector. Now, of course, the image quality is going to be very dependent on a lot of external factors, like the amount of ambient light in your room, the desired size of your image, whether or not you have to use digital keystone, which we don't really recommend, and the desired screen material. Now, obviously, this projector, like most, isn't going to have black levels equal to an OLED display. But with that said, they're pretty darn good, especially after lowering the laser output brightness, which improved contrast in the colors considerably and made black levels even better. And for watching movies, I thought it was really nice that it supported true 24Hz mode with extra motion compensation options if you want a smoother picture. But I left this off to get the most accurate image possible. So all in all, I want to give AWOL our highest recommendation because this projector is beyond what I thought was possible with any UST projector available right now. You see a lot of companies selling these units as laser TVs, but I feel like this projector actually gets really close to that title. Now, if you're interested in this projector, AWOL is having some pretty amazing deals on their website. Right now, you can get the 3500 Pro with a free motorized projector screen like this one, along with 4 active 3D glasses, so make sure you go check that out. And with that said, I think it's time to go ahead and wrap up this video. Make sure you take a look at all the projectors available on AWOL's website, and we'll be sure to leave a link in the description so you can go see what they have available. Please let us know if you have any other questions or comments down in the comment section below. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our future content. And as always, have an awesome day.